crack on this one. Hi there, Jada.
Hiya.
All good?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yourself?
Yes, good. It's the first time here as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have the affidavit with you?
Yep, I've had it. Been trying to get my head around it for over a year now. I've done my seal and everything, but I'm just at that place where I need to kind of get my bum moving again.
Yeah, okay. We will have a couple of weeks to go and sort it out. Don't worry about it.
Good, thank you.
Reading in a group is easier because you can hear what everyone thinks of this or that, and it kind of helps to sink in a little bit better.
Yeah, it definitely helps when there's more minds on it than just yourself
Yeah.
going through it.
Okay. So today we will start with Exhibit A. Even when you are going to start to read Aline, this is where you need to start. Always start with Exhibit A. Because, especially in Aline, when you start reading the Aline from the beginning, it's actually the end. So it's after the 6 weeks, that's what you are reading. Then, when you go through Exhibit A, you will see the correspondence that the claimant sent to you, the one which you pick up the claims, and with your correspondence or your communication after. So always remember that anything that you will start reading, either Aline or the affidavit, I would tell you to start reading from Exhibit A. Okay. So today in the weeks that are we are going to do this together, what is that we are going to do exactly? So each one of you, I will ask you to read a page or a paragraph. And after that, you will have to tell us what was your understanding of what you've just read. Okay? Another thing that is very important is don't worry about the time unless you are busy or you have something to do. It's better for you to leave the call. The call will be on YouTube, then you can listen to it. But as the time that you are going to spend here, I need you to be calm and I need you to read slowly because you need to grasp the words that you are reading. And that's exactly what we are going to do today. Okay, so read slowly. If there is a word that you don't have an idea of what that word means, just tell us, go and search for the words on the etymology of the word. Okay? Everyone got that? Silence is agreement. So let's start. Exhibit A. Formal challenge to the 12 presumptions of law. So I'm going to call Azul. Can you please start?
Yes.
Okay. Can you read the first page, please?
Formal challenge to the 12 presumptions of law. Definition of presumption. The Oxford.com. An idea that is taken to be true on the basis of probabilities. As presumption is a presumption on which must be agreed by the parties to be true. Then equal. If one party challenges...
No. Wait.
Yes.
Then and equally.
Equally, yes.
Equally. Yes. Okay, let me just make an observation. Okay, while if you guys have it on paper or if you guys have it on the computer, please go in and start making notes when I want you to understand what you are visualizing now. Okay, if you see this then and equally, this is what we call Boolean grammar. Okay. That's why it's here, it's separated, and it's all in capital letters. Yes?
Right.
Okay, so this is Boolean grammar. If this, then that. Then and equally.
And equally.
Okay, so this is a Boolean grammar is an equation that how do they say it, Florbella? It's a mathematical equation, isn't it?
It's mathematical language. Yeah,
Exactly.
something. If this then that, it always has the same result.
No, the mathematical language is that sign of higher than and lower than. Yeah.
The pointy, the triangle.
Yeah. So the Boolean grammar here works the same way. Okay, go on.
Okay. If one party challenges the presumptions to be true on the basis of probability, then this is all that is advised to be required to remove the presumption is a formal challenge to that presumption. The presumption then has no standing or merit fact. A probability, www.oxforddictionary.com. I don't have to finish all this.
No. You can say just the link, internet link.
Okay.
Yeah.
The extent to which something is probable, the likelihood of something happening or being the case. By definition, then this is not substantive, as it is only probability of what may be and therefore has no substance in material fact. A state court does not operate according to any true rule of law, but by presumptions of the law. Therefore, if presumptions presented by the private bar guild are not rebutted, they become fact and are therefore said to stand true. There are 12 key presumptions asserted by the private bar guild, which is unchallenged, stands through being public records, public service, public oath, immunity, summons, custody, court of guardians, court of trustees, government as executor, beneficiary, agent, and agency, incompetence, and guilt. The presumptions of public records is that any matter brought before a state court is a matter for the public records when in fact it is presumed by the members of the private bar guild that the matter is a private bar guild business matter, unless openly rejected by standing clearly. The matter is to be on the public record. The matter remains a private bar guild matter completely and the private bar guild rules. The undersigned formally challenge the presumptions of public records as it is by definition a presumption by definition, and has no standing or merit in presentable or material fact.
Well done. Wow. No, you stop there.
Okay.
Okay, very good, very good. Now, can you please tell me what was your understanding of what you've read?
So what I am understanding is a presumption can never be a law unless it's agreed by the parties. The second one is that the public record stands for the bar guild itself, so it's not public actually, it's just for the bar guild and the court of justice, or it's not justice. If it was justice, it would be a presumption.
Mm-hmm. So this was all your take from what you've read, yeah?
What? So otherwise, I didn't take. Yes, pretty much.
Okay. And did you understand this last paragraph?
The public record.
No. We, the undersigned.
The undersigned formally challenge the presumption. Yes.
Okay. So, what is it that this paragraph is doing?
It's stating that I challenge the court or whoever is upholding an authority over me by with using the name of law or the name of law or court of justice.
Mm-hmm. So who is we?
It will be my impediment name.
Yes.
And the house of
the Attorney General.
Of my Attorney General.
Yeah, the Attorney General, the principal legal embodiment, and the Baron. So we are challenging formally the 12 presumptions. That's why in each one we have this paragraph, yeah? Because this here, it's the most important part of the document.
Right.
Okay? The word formal means what?
Means on paper. It's
exactly. That's what exactly. Yes. So that's exactly what you are doing. Every time you serve this Exhibit A, you already are formally challenging the 12 presumptions that they sit on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? because
Yeah.
all we need, what do we need to rebut a presumption?
What to come up with to report it. And to report
What is required to remove the presumption?
a challenge, to challenge them and show them that everything is a presumption and it's fraudulent.
It has no standing or merit in fact.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Thank you so much, Azul. It was brilliant.
Thank you.
Let's go, Kyrie Ains. Kyrie?
Yeah,
Kira?
I can't read at the moment because I've got asthma.
Okay, move to the next one. Mark, can you read the second page?
Hello, love. The presumption of public service is that all the members of the private bar guild who have all the sworn and solemn secret absolute oath to their guild then act as public agents of the government or public officials by making additional oaths of public office that openly and deliberately contradict their private superior oaths to their own guild. Unless openly rebuked and rejected, the claim stands that these private bar guild members are legitimate public servants and therefore trustees under public oath. We, the undersigned, formally challenge the presumption of public service, as it is by definition a presumption, by definition, and has no standing or merit in presentable or material fact. 3. The presumption of public oath is that all members of the private bar guild acting in the capacity of public officials who have sworn a solemn public oath remain bound by that oath and therefore bound to serve honestly, impartially, and fairly as dictated by their oath. Unless openly challenged and demanded, the presumption stands that the private bar guild members have functioned under their public oath in contradiction to their guild oath. If challenged, such individuals must recuse themselves as having a conflict of interest and cannot possibly stand under a public oath. We, the undersigned, formally challenge the presumption of public oath, as it is by definition a presumption, a definition, and has no standing or merit in presentable or material fact. The presumption of immunity is that key members of the private bar guild, in the capacity of public officials, acting as judges, prosecutors, and magistrates, who have sworn a solemn public oath in good faith, are immune from personal claims of injury and liability. Unless openly challenged and their oath demanded, the presumption stands that the members of the private bar guild, as public trustees acting as judges, prosecutors, and magistrates, are immune from any personal accountability for their actions. We, the undersigned, formally challenge the presumption of immunity, as it is by definition a presumption. By definition, and has no standing or merit in presentable or material fact. The presumption of summons is that by custom a summons, unrebutted, stands, and therefore one who attends court is presumed to accept a position, defendant, juror, witness, and jurisdiction of the court. Attendance to court is usually invitation by summons, unless the summons is rejected and returned with a copy of the rejection filed prior to choosing to visit or attend. Jurisdiction and position as the accused and the existence of guilt stands.
You can finish the with the undersigned.
We, the undersigned, formally challenge the presumption of summons, as it is by definition a presumption, by definition, and has no standing or merit in presentable or material fact.
Okay. Can you read what we have down, attorney at law?
Can we do? I don't know what you mean, love.
On the footer, attorney at law, no assured value, no liability, no errors and omissions accepted, all rights reserved.
That. C and G, A, C,
Yeah, those.
and G.
Yeah.
I'm not
So
sure
those,
what all those.
Yeah, those are the accreditations of Baron David Ward.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
But we
paralegal.
don't. If you have your own affidavit, we don't put that, because unless you have those accreditations yourself, you remove that. But we have attorney at law, and I want to know if anyone here knows why do we use this phrase here.
Attorney at law, no assured value, no liability, no errors and omissions accepted, all rights reserved.
Good. Okay, can you give us your understanding or breakdown of this page that you have read?
But basically, all these words that they use are just words used within their company. And unless you rebut their words, you fall into their guild, of which you are not, as you are private, and these are public.
Mm-hmm. And
words. They're words for the public, and if you are a member of the public, you are basically a member of the private bar guild.
Yeah. And anything else?
Yeah, basically. You
is it visible now, the conflict of interest?
Yeah, you want to say tomato, I want to say tomato.
Yeah. But there is a difference, even if I say tomato and you did an oath to the bar guild and you want to say tomato, isn't it?
Okay, so I've not made any oath to anybody. So only those who have made an oath are being governed by these words and beliefs. So if you've made no oath, this is of no value.
Yeah. And anything else? The summons. Is it clear?
Well, the summons is an invitation, so you can accept an invitation or you can decline it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyone here has anything that wants to see clarified, or we are good to go? Good. Thank you, Mark. It was amazing.
Yeah, let me just, when we
Yeah.
go to that, because I was just reading it again. So, unless the summons is rejected and returned with a copy of rejection. So, if you were to write, if somebody was summoned up for jury, and you go, no, thank you, or do you have to say, I reject this summons?
Well, you can return the summons and send the Exhibit A and make special attention to the point 5. Because you already challenged, we the undersigned formally challenged. So you already challenged the 12 presumption. So what they are sending you, in fact, has no merit or standing. Right? Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Move on. Next. Okay. Kyrick, she can't read. Maxine N.
Yeah, hello. I'm just
there.
listening. I don't really know what your reading and analysis thing is about at the moment, so I'm quite new, but I have done a lot of research and reading.
Okay.
So I just thought I'd jump onto your chat and see what it was all about.
Okie dokie. Stay there then. Hang tight.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Okay.
Carla,
Mia.
Carla.
Yeah. Go on. Yeah, Mark.
I'm just jumping back to the immunity.
Yeah. Let's go back to the immunity.
Yeah. Okay. Where are we? Actually, the prosecutors sworn a solemn public oath in good faith. Okay. So they've sworn a public oath in good faith, are immune from personal claims of injury and liability. So basically, their role that they're acting, they're immune from it.
That's
unless
what
you openly challenge their oath demanded. So, what oath are you demanding?
Can you say that again?
Okay, I'll just read this bit. Prosecutor and magistrates who have sworn a solemn public oath in good faith. So they've sworn their oath in public and are immune from any personal claims or injuries or liabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So they're acting in a capacity where they have no liabilities.
Of public officials, yeah.
Yeah, in their company, shall we say, unless openly challenged and their oath demanded. So if you demanded their oath, what difference would that be? Because their oath is with their guild. So is their oath, if their oath is on public, then it's just within their company.
That's where the conflict of interests comes in. Because they have sworn 2 oaths at this point.
2 oaths.
Yeah. One is the public, yeah. If you read the one, the public oath, yeah. it says that is that all members of the private bar guild acting in the capacity of public officials, who have sworn a solemn public oath, remain bound by that oath, and therefore bound to serve honestly, impartially, and fairly as dictated by their oath.
But that
So
oath is within that oath.
they have two oaths. This one that they swear is to become public official, but then they swear another oath inside of the bar guilds, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So there is a conflict of interest.
But still, public officials are still public within their company.
Yeah.
But then the guild is like a company within their company.
Outside, yeah.
Okay, yeah, right, yeah, I'm with
so
that.
So they can never be.
Impartial.
We need to know who. Yeah, we need to know who the hell are you protecting, right? Because it's not our interests, and it's not justice. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you see, sometimes most of the people that are going to challenge the oath of the judges, they are asking them if they are under their oath, and I mean, for me, it's a ridiculous question, because you needed to ask which oath are you under today, because they swear to. So you cannot go against your boss, which is the bar guild, the private bar guild, right?
Yeah. So if a copper is under the oath of an officer or under the oath of a constable, are those two different?
I didn't look, to be honest. I didn't look at the coppers, to be honest. I don't know if they have one
But I think here in Portugal, the cops only have one.
Yeah.
To wherever, if they are GNR, they are with the army. So they would swear the oath to the army. And then the PSP, they have a different. I don't know. I think it's I think it's a different oath, because the other one is the army, but then they kind of have the same protocol that they should follow, kind of the same rules whenever they're dealing with the so-called public, the private.
See, when you address a copper over here, you should always address him as constable, because I thought that was different to a policy officer.
I think here in the UK there are no, or I don't want to be saying something that I'm not sure of what I'm going to say. Yeah, but I think that the constable is long gone, and now what you have is police officers, which is a different species altogether. So the constables, I think they swear an oath to protect the people. And the officers swear an oath to protect the company, which is...
That's my understanding of it.
Yeah.
Which is why you should always address them as constables, because then
exactly,
you have put them in that position. Exactly.
So I think there is that difference here, but I didn't look at it. I don't know if Mia, let's see if Mia, she can share a little bit of more light into this. And here I go again, catch Mia eating, as usual. No.
Hello, good evening. No, not eating yet, but trying to prepare as usual. Just in from watering as usual. Yeah, realistically, I'm out of date with what's going on over there, but I am aware that there is supposed to be a constable's oath, as I think Flor said, to protect or you said, to protect the people. But of
Yeah.
course they're not, because we know now from the research we've all done that all these so-called constabularies that used to be, well, they're Dun & Bradstreet registered. So, you know,
Yeah.
they're employed by registered businesses. It's not public, so-called public service like it used to be.
Mm.
So yeah, some people try that whole thing, but we know they're just there to stitch you up and find you and do whatever they do, you know, and bang you up if they get a chance, and same as they do here.
Yeah, so once you're challenged, you don't need to appear in their place of business. That's our standing.
Well, yeah, unless we're kidnapped, of course, and that's a different
Yeah.
situation. So,
Well, can I have a pen and a paper, please?
well, yeah, or whip your affidavit out of your rucksack.
Oh, yeah, me, I'm good to go.
Yeah,
By the amount of times I've already read this, I can read this
yeah, me
at
too.
the
But
back of my.
unfortunately, my memory is like Swiss cheese, so I really would not like to have to sit down with a blank sheet of paper and a pen and write it. I mean, I could probably get 50 to 75% there, but no, it's kind of glued to me the whole time now. Wherever I go, it goes with me. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I'm sorry, I can't really help on this whole
Yeah,
oath.
no, I think it's good for us to go and do some research, and then next week we can bring that to before we start the reading.
Yeah, I mean, the research is very, very simple. If anybody goes onto Dun & Bradstreet, you will find all these police companies, you know, they're companies. And at the end of the day, it's, you know, we know that Dun & Bradstreet is for registering businesses. So if it's a business, it's hardly a service to protect the people now, is it? To protect the shareholders, to make
Mhm.
a nice, sizable profit. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Okay, moving along. Um, let's see. Kyrie can't read. Isabel, can you read the? Oh no, Isabel, she read it already in Portuguese. Poor girl. Azul, can you read the next one?
Sure. The presumption of custody is that by custom a summons or warrant for arrest unrebutted stands, and therefore one who attends court is presumed to be a thing and therefore liable to be detained in custody by custodians. Custodians may only lawfully hold custody of property and things, not flesh and blood, soul, possessing beings, unless this presumption is openly challenged by rejection of summons and/forward or at court. The presumption stands you are a thing and property, and therefore lawfully able to be kept in custody by custodians. We, the undersigned, formally challenge the presumption of custody as it is by definition, a presumption by definition, and has no standing or merit in presentable or material facts. 6. Presumption of court of guardians is the presumption that as you may be listed as a president of a ward of local government area, and have listed on your passport the letter P, you are pauper, and therefore under the guardian powers of the government and its agents as a court of guardians. Unless this presumption is openly challenged to demonstrate you are both a general guardian and general executor of the matter, trust before the court, the presumption stands and you are by default a pauper and lunatic, and therefore must obey the rules of the clerk of guardians, clerk of magistrate courts. We, the undersigned, formally challenge the presumption of guardians, as it is, by definition, a presumption by definition, and has no standing or merit in presentable material fact. 7. The presumption of Court of Trustees is that members of the private bar guild presume you accept the office of trustee as a public servant and government employee just by attending the room court, as such courts are always for public trustees by the rules of the guild and the Roman system. Unless this presumption is openly challenged, to state you are merely visiting by invitation to clear up the matter and you are not government employee or public trustee. In this instance, the presumption stands and is assumed as one of the most significant reasons to claim jurisdiction, simply because you appeared. We, the undersigned, formally challenge the presumption of trustees, as it is by definition a presumption by definition and has no standing or merit in presentable or material fact. 9.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, let's give you a break. Okay, can you tell us what did you get from reading this one?
So all the custodies, guardians, or trustees, trustee are all scales of their company employees, so they all serve the same company and they are there to serve their own interests, and it doesn't matter what they are named after. The change just names going from one name to another to trick people around. Otherwise, who holds the power is the boss, is the bosses, the ones who's got more shareholders than the others.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Yeah, okay. I forgot to clarify this point the last time. So do you know why do we write attorney at law at the end?
Yes, because no one is, we never signed our to be governed to start with, so no one has an authority over us, so we are all attorneys at law. We can represent ourselves.
You never signed your power of attorney away.
Correct.
Exactly. Okay. Anyone has any doubts on this one, or are we good to go? All good to go. Thank you, Azul, once again.
I can still carry on if no one wants to keep reading.
Okay, so you carry on then.
The presumption of government acting in two roles as executor and beneficiary is that for the matter at hand, the private bar guild appoints the judge magistrate in the capacity of executor, while the prosecutor acts in the capacity of beneficiary of the trust of the current matter. If these accused seek to arrest, their right is executor and beneficiary of their body, mind, and soul. They are acting as an executor, the son tort, or a false executor, challenging the rightful judge as executor. Therefore, the judge magistrate assumes the role of true executor and has the right to have you arrested, detained, fined, or forced into psychiatric evaluation, unless this presumption is openly challenged to demonstrate you are both the true general guardian and general executor of the matter trust before the court. Questioning and challenging whether the judge or magistrate is seeking to act as executor do son tort. The presumption stands, and you are by default the trustee, therefore must obey the roles of the executor, judge, magistrate, or you are an executor, the son tort, and a judge or magistrate or the private bar guild may seek the assistance of bailiffs or sheriffs or asserts their false claim against you. Sorry, what is this the son tort? Executor the
So
son tort.
an exact. Okay, who was speaking?
Yes.
Mark, was that you? Hello.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't. Okay, so an executor or de son tort. It means that it's an executor of one's own wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
So if you go on the internet and search for it, let me do a quick search.
Yep, done.
Okay, so wait, I have here. If you go to Merriam-Webster dictionary, executor de son tort, a person without legal authority assumes control of a descendant's property as if he were executor. Yeah,
Sure.
as if you were the executor. Okay.
Well, I never heard it before, so it was a
Oh,
bit.
this is their trickery of Latin into the equation. They use it a lot, especially in the dead world. That's why they remove Latin from schools.
Right.
Yeah.
We, the undersigned, formally challenge the presumption of government acting in two roles as executor and beneficiary, as it is by definition a presumption, by definition, and has no standing or merit in presentable or material facts. 10. The presumption of agent and agency is the presumption that under contract law you have expressed and granted authority to the judge and magistrate through the statement of such words as recognized, understand, or comprehend, and therefore agree to be bound to a contract. Therefore, unless all presumptions of agent appointment are rebutted, through the use of such normal rejection as I do not recognize you, to remove all implied or expressed appointment of the judge, prosecutor, or clerk as agents, the presumption stands and you agree to be contractually bound to perform at the direction of the judge or magistrate. We, the undersigned, formally challenge the presumption of agent and agency, as it is by definition a presumption and has no standing or merit in presentable or material fact. Sorry, can someone else keep reading?
Yeah.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, do you want to tell us what was your understanding from this one?
So, as I already said before, as everything is just to trick us and to make us obey their rules, they use any options or anything they've got in hands just to get us obey what they think, when they think they have an authority over us to use us
Well, they
for
don't.
their own or charge us
The
for whatever.
better term would be they act under presumptions.
Right.
So
Yes.
all they are throwing at us, it's presumptions and probabilities. That's why we are formally challenging them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all they do. They still believe that you don't know this, and you can be you are one of their things. Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
And they can do whatever they want with things.
It's about the language and communication. Whoever has got a better bank of informations or a bank of who knows better the language or whatever to speak, they can roll the ship as they want.
Yep. That's it. Let's see. Mark, can you read? Yes, you can read. That's not the best question to ask. We already heard you reading. So can you please read the next one, which is 11, yeah?
Hold on. I was using my book from last night. Number 11. 6 of 6. What page?
6.
The presumption, yeah. The presumption of the competence.
11, sorry. So have we done incompetence?
Yes.
We've just done that, and you got to the end, yeah. So we're starting with the presumption of guilt.
Presumption of incompetence. 11. Oh, 9
The
actually.
one before, yeah, okay. So the presumption of incompetence is the presumption that you are at least ignorant of law, therefore incompetent to present yourself and argue properly. Therefore, the judge, magistrate, as executor, has the right to have you arrested, detained, fined, or forced into a psychiatric evaluation, unless this presumption is openly challenged to the fact that you know your position as executor and beneficiary, and actively rebut and object to any contrary presumptions, then it stands by the time of pleading that you are incompetent. Then the judge or magistrate can do what they need to keep you obedient. We, the undersigned, formally challenge the presumption of incompetence, that it is by definition a presumption, by definition, and has no standing or merit in presentable or material fact. The presumption of guilt is the presumption that as it is presumed to be the private business meeting of the Bar Guild, you are guilty whether you plead guilty, do not plead, or plead not guilty. Therefore, unless you either have previously prepared an affidavit of truth and motion to dismiss with extreme prejudice onto the public record, or call a demurrer, then the presumption is you are guilty, and the private Bar Guild can hold you until a bond is prepared to guarantee the amount the Guild wants to profit from you. We, the undersigned, formally challenge the presumption of guilt, as it is by definition a presumption, by definition, and has no standing or merit in presentable or material fact. We formally challenge all presumptions of law, and as we have formally challenged all the 12 presumptions of law, then the presumption of law formally has no substance in material fact. As a scholar of law and recognised RBA, recognised by achievement, paralegal by the demonstrated knowledge at court tribunal, see enclosed case authority Exhibit B, David Ward and Warrington Borough Council, 30th day of May 2013, case number 104555. We will recognise the rule of law when and only when there is the material evidence of that assumed rule of law has some material evidence of substance in presentable material fact. Until then, the search for the rule of law that has some credibility in material fact continues. It is done without ill will or vexation. For and on behalf of the principal legal embodiment by the title of Mr. David Ward, for and on behalf of the Attorney General of the House of Ward, for and on behalf of Baron David of the House of Ward, Attorney at Law, no assured value, no liability, no errors, and omissions accepted. All rights reserved.
Brilliant. Brilliantly read. Well done. Okay. Anyone has questions about what the reading we did today? Mark, any doubts?
Don't have doubts.
Don't.
I have queries. Oh yeah, all right, okay. Demurrer.
It's another, yeah, it's another Latin demure. Demure. I think it's how it's pronounced. Demure.
Demure.
Yeah. So demure. Let me see here.
So what's a demure?
Well,
Yeah.
what do you often hear in a court case? Somebody stands up and says something, and the person listening will say, "Objection, Your Honour."
Exactly. So again, if you go to Merriam-Webster dictionary, it will tell you that it's an act of an instance of objecting, protest rather than be brought into court. He will pay without demur. Hesitation, as in doing or accepting. Yeah. Usually based on doubt of the acceptability of something offered or proposed after some delay and demur. The door grudgingly turned on its hinges. Oh my God, Charles Dickens. Yeah. A quick search nowadays, it's all we need. We have everything at our fingers to go and research. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, let me just make a quick note, which is for the ones that are doing their own affidavit, this part where it says, as a scholar of law and recognize RBA, if you are creating your own, you need to remove this part here, because again, this part belongs to Baron David Ward. You just leave the part where it states, we will recognize the rule of law when and only when there is material evidence of that assumed rule of law. Okay? Let me go and ask for questions. Kyrie Ains. Now it's not for reading. Any questions?
No, fine, thank you.
Yeah, everything was okay. It synced in a little bit more.
Yes, better, and yeah, I'm writing everything down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all like it's like a big lie, isn't it?
Oh yes.
It's like a big lie. It's their little tricks.
Yes. It's full of tricks.
It's full of tricks, yeah. So like I did get the bit that you said attorney at law. We've always put that down, so
yeah, not attorney. You don't write attorney in law. You write attorney at law.
Yeah, that's law. That means not signing our power of attorney to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you never give your power of attorney. I don't know, Mia, how is it here in the UK? It's 5 years, every 5 years? Or 4?
You know, you're asking the wrong woman here, because I don't think I ever voted in my life, ever. So
I don't know. I get confused because
4 years in the UK, I believe, and 5 here, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah, it must be right.
I believe so.
Yeah, so every 4 years you have to go and pass that power of attorney. So
no, you don't. You don't put a little X in a little box.
Oh, that's how you pass your power then.
Yeah, just a little X in a box.
Little X. That's all they need. The little eggs for the dead. The dead, they all go with an eggs and with a cross.
But wasn't that
That's
to
all.
signify that you were an idiot?
Oh, yes.
And if you don't go there and give that X, it's still presumed that you agreed.
Oh, yeah. Let's break down that presumption then, shall we?
So you go and put an X in that says you're an idiot and you can't have your say. And if you don't go, then it presumes. So every single vote goes whichever way.
Yeah.
Well, or non-vote. Because putting an X in is not a vote. You're saying you're an idiot. And you can't you can't take part because you're an idiot. So that's what the X stands for.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm gonna do a little quiz. Can any of you, I accept any of you, identify in the number 6, the presumption of custody, where is the Boolean grammar?
Is it custodians?
No. The Boolean grammar is if this, what else? If this, then that. Right? If this, then that, therefore, then equally. Where can I find the Boolean grammar? On the number 6. And what does the Boolean grammar create? There are words that create bridges in the sentence. And those words, most of the time, they passed through our eyes and we don't perceive them. So it's very important for us to start paying attention to those words. If I say that a statute can only be given force of law by the consent of the governed, where is my bridge?
On by.
Oh, come on, woman. Why are you going so fast?
You're not supposed to join. No.
Let them squeeze their brains.
I didn't finish. On
Oh no,
bicycle.
I think Mena was saying that she was leaving. Oh, bye, Mena.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm going to read that again. The number 6. The presumption of custody is that by custom a summons or warrant for arrest and rebuttal stands, and therefore one who attends court is presumed to be a thing and therefore liable to be detained in custody by custodians. Where are my bridges? Where is my Boolean grammar? Anyone?
Therefore?
Yes, correct. That's it. Why is it so important for us to start paying attention to this? Now I'm going to read it without my bridge. Okay? Is that by custom a summons or warrant of arrest, unrebutted, stands, and one who attends court is presumed to be a thing and liable to be detained in custody by custodians. Did you guys notice the difference? I love the silence.
Yes, I did.
Well, we know you already did, Isabel. Go to the back of the room. Kyrie.
Yes,
Are you still there?
I'm here.
Did you notice the difference?
And one who attends court is, yeah, I noticed the difference. What would therefore stand for though?
That's what you're there for.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Split the word and take the E off. Is that right?
Okay.
Not sure.
Mia, do you want to give them a little bit more juicy stuff?
Sorry, carry on. What you want?
Do you want to give them a little bit more on the Boolean grammar?
Well, the Boolean grammar is what creates the dependency, doesn't it? It's the if this, then that, and therefore, I mean, in this particular one, in number 6, for instance, when you think about it, it doesn't make sense if you read it without therefore. That's what it's a similar function. That word has a similar function to the if then, because he's giving you a scenario, isn't he? And
it's
then
almost like a consequence, isn't it?
Exactly. He's giving you a scenario, and then he's giving you a separate scenario, and he's basically saying that in this situation, blah blah blah, therefore this will be the consequence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is why he's saying, well, this is obviously why, the presumption needs to be rebutted, because otherwise the presumption stands. Yeah, and that is the function of that word therefore.
Yeah. The presumption and the consequence of the presumption.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's a bridge. It's taking you from one part of the paragraph to another in a logical conclusion. That's the way that I read it. Someone else might read it differently, but that's the way that I read it.
Yeah, me too. That's the way I read it. So when you start paying attention to this, the words by that create also a dependency, because without the by, which means, yeah, what would it mean? That the dependency is not there. So how is it possible for this to exist? Yeah. If the people never consented to be governed. If that dependency is not there. in material evidence. Make sense? Okay, I will assume that, yeah, you did.
Well, kind of. The penny's not really dropping with it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of get it, but I wouldn't be able to explain it, which means you haven't really quite grasped it.
It didn't sink in. Yeah?
No, I think if you were to fully understand something, you got to be able to explain it. I kind of get it, but I won't be able to explain it.
So okay, think in terms of the what is the Boolean grammar, right? If this, then that, therefore, equally. Okay? Every time you use this, you see, I'm using it right now. This, it's a bridge. We use Boolean grammar more in the leans. That we use this step through the way until our 6 weeks.
Maybe if you give him an example, we could do, if you have authority or if I have an obligation, then you have to supply. Say, what did you say? Just say the words and I'll fill them in with an example. How
Okay,
did you
so
start?
If.
Okay. The next one is?
If this.
Okay, so if I have an obligation, yeah, like, so if you receive a letter from the council, so
yeah.
if I have this obligation,
if this, then that.
Then you must supply the material evidence. Not then.
Exactly.
It is.
Then it will
fraud.
have. Yeah. Then it will have legal consequences. For example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we always start with their claim. If they're claiming, then they because it just creates connection between, and like Mia was saying, that it's dependency. So if they say this, then they must support it by showing material evidence. Otherwise,
therefore, we are taking the action. Like the consequence here on step 6, it's the same consequence that you not bringing the evidence of your claim. Therefore. Make sense?
Not quite. That was a bit tricky to understand. You were both coming in and fading out.
Okay, Mia, try share some light on Mark.
I think realistically, it's lack of reading. I think I don't think that I can explain it any better than either you or Flor or I have. I think it's something that somebody will see with time once you. I mean, if you take the second half of that, you can even say that in this context, unless is Boolean grammar too, because you're starting with one part of the fact, aren't you? You're saying, unless this presumption is openly challenged by, so this is how it needs to be done, by rejection of summons and or at court, yeah, the presumption stands that you're a thing and property, and therefore this is another consequence. So unless you do this by this method, then they can lawfully keep you in custody, yeah, by the custodians. They all, there are steps. The steps leading from one thing to another. That's the way that I see it. They're saying, right, this is the situation. So unless you do this by this method, then this will be the consequence. Is that clear enough? Or not really still, Mark?
I think it's like you said, Mia. I think you really need to read the lien and understand what's being done, all the steps and the process of the lien, and really see, okay, yeah, how come I never thought of this? Of course, if they, if this, then that, and you give that consequence, because when we do, when you read the liens, you will see that the whole process is done from the very beginning.
Yeah.
With all the steps. This is what you claim. This is what you need to do. Otherwise, this is what's going to happen. So you have the whole process, and you need to really comprehend this and feel this.
It's a logical progression, really.
I agree.
Yeah. Have you read any of the liens yet, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It is a process.
But where's
Did this escape? Did this escape your eyes?
Not necessarily, but in the context that you're putting it in, yeah.
Okay, so I will tell you that now, because now we gave you a little bit more, one piece of the puzzle. If you go read it again, your eyes will catch every single time.
Okay, so what grammar do you call it? Boolean grammar, was it?
Boolean.
Boolean. B-O-O-L-E-A-N.
Okay, so where's Boolean grammar come from?
It's computer it's related to computer programming. It's what programmers use in code.
All right.
If 1 plus 1 equals 2, then 2 minus 1 equals 1. And this is the language they use. And it always has the same result, right? Because when you use by in computer programming, not that I know much about that, but I believe I understood correctly, you use that and it always responds the same way.
There's a video of Baron David Ward explaining why he used that on while he was compiling this.
Okay. Well, is that in the file then?
Yeah.
Will it be typed Boolean grammar, or will it be under something else and I've got to search for hours?
Oh, no. It's one of the videos where he's talking about it. I will find it out and I will post it and identify you so it's easy for you to find.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Mark, it's just a suggestion, but what may help you in this situation is when you have a copy of the affidavit, whichever one, and use a highlight pen to highlight the words that you believe or that you're seeing that create the dependency between the phrases. It might help to just cement it into your brain a bit.
Okay.
Pick out the words and highlight.
This is my affidavit. You see, I have it. That's why I like to have it on paper, because this is how I made my study. And you can see that I had a lot of difficulties because most of the words I didn't know shit all about what they were meaning. So I recommend people to do this as well, because it helps a lot, and even for you to do your own research, because once you know, it's your knowing. You know, it's not, oh, someone else told me. It's not third-hand knowledge. It's your first-hand knowledge, because you go after the things that, okay, I need to adjust this to make sense, because it's not making that sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Kyrie, everything was okay for you?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Azul.
Yes.
Yes. Any questions?
I think I learned a lot tonight.
Wow, that's good.
Thank
Wait for the next week. This one was easy. Next week we are going to break down the PCN. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I've been holding custody 3 times this year, so.
Oh, well, now you know.
Now I know.
Yeah. Point them to the right direction and break the presumptions. They are full of them. You just need to go and break them down.
That's right.
Yeah. So you already know
they
that the janitor.
They always use force, so I always get out injured.
Yeah, well, they use force because probably you are offering resistance. You don't need to resist anymore.
Why, if I don't resist, I will. That's actually the first time they hold me in custody, because I thought, okay, there is no point resisting. Second time they use
go
force.
freely. Yeah, when they want to take you, just put your fists to the front and say, "Let's go, guys! Woohoo!"
Yep, and then they hold me in custody
remember to bring all the paperwork with you. You only need the paperwork.
That's the thing. They don't let me take anything with me inside.
Okay, don't worry. Do you have an email where you can ask for the paperwork?
Well, there is no email. I'm still looking for emails, because here in Morocco nothing is, so they can go digital when they want, but it's not really.
But do they have a government?
It's supposed to be a company, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so they must have emails.
I checked and I couldn't access anything from here, but I don't know. I have to get out of here and try to search from overseas or something, because they censor everything, I think, in the internet. I'm still lucky I can still use Telegram and stuff to communicate.
But are you from Morocco originally, or no?
Yes.
Oh. Yeah.
But I'll hold as well Australian as Moroccan, so it's
Yeah, well, I didn't looked at Moroccan things, but I'm sure you can find. Maybe you're not looking in the right places.
Well, every time I try the government things, so the page goes blank and nothing, no access, nothing.
Maybe because it's your user.
Or maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought so as well, so I don't know. That's why I said I might have to try to get out and try to find their emails from overseas or something. Or if you can do that for me, if you can go and check if you can find any emails. That would be appreciated.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, HM, the King congratulated electronic services. Yeah, you must administration contact. That's interesting. Yeah, I think you are right, my friend.
Mm.
The cheeky bastards.
Yes, and serving them with paper, I don't know, because it has to be pointed in the right direction, otherwise it's worth nothing, because you give it to the Asians, they just put it in the bin.
Wow. Yeah, I will have a look because it's funny enough. It's quite
Unusual.
I have their website here, but it's in Arabic also. Yeah, it's all in Arabic.
What the email should be written in Latin anyway, so if there is an email, it should be in Latin.
Yeah, but wait, hang on a minute.
Oh, English, wait.
Yeah, I have the Chief of Mission Ambassador, Dwight L. Bush. Mailing address. No, they don't have email. Wow. You can send a fax.
Yeah, but it will be dumped, it will be dumped in the bin anyway.
Yeah. Wow. Really, really, really something. Okay, National Holiday.
Contact us, it says. Wait a moment. Oh, one of those. It's one of those silly forms. Fill in our silly forms.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That's all they have.
It's a bit naughty, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many languages is this translated into, do you know?
Arabic, French, Spanish, English, I believe.
Okay, so it is.
Don't think it's translated to Arabic just yet.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
The affidavit.
Yeah.
No, the affidavit is not in Arabic, not yet.
No.
We are waiting for you.
I was trying to find someone to translate it to my language and I couldn't get anyone. to help or anything, and people, they just take me for a fool. So I said, okay.
Okay, I have a friend who speaks Arabic, who I have working on something at the moment. I could ask her if she can do a translation of it.
Oh, that would be brilliant. But I think it will be, you know what? I think it will be better to be translated from, yeah, I don't know. Because they have, Arabic is very similar to Portuguese.
Could be.
Yeah. Yeah, but tell her to have a go on just the decree and the affidavit itself. So just the first 4 pages.
Just the first 4 pages. Okay.
Yeah, that's all he needs. He only needs that.
Okay.
Because the rest he can send it in English. Because in what is the official language after Arabic in Morocco? Is it French? No.
Well, it's Tamazight and French, yes. So the Moroccan language, North African, Arabic, and French. And I think they are moving toward English now.
But we have the affidavit in French already, don't we, from Tiago?
Yeah. So he can okay. So
He can
okay, let
read
me.
the one in French if he speaks French, or he can
They
use that one.
They usually speak French, yeah.
Okay, your document. What is the language that appears there? Is it English or French? So it's
English.
Arabic, and then what is the second language?
It has to be in Arabic or Tamazight, so the Moroccan language, the North African one.
Okay. No. Yeah.
Well, they speak French as well. All the officials, they all speak French.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you can translate the first 4 pages, which is the necessary, the decree, and the your affidavit, right?
Yeah.
And then the rest, the exhibits, go in French. Because we already have the French one.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, we're going to ask. It was Tiago, wasn't it? We asked Tiago to put
because
the
he served
word
it
in a Word document, so you are able to do the alterations that you need.
Okay.
I believe he served it in Belgium.
Yeah.
Because last time when I asked Scott in a live long time ago, maybe nearly 2 years ago, he said you can just serve them in English, and they have their embassies and consulates of the States and UK here, and they can just go and translate it themselves. But the issue is with the emails, because there is no email address or anything to be able to serve anyone, actually.
Well, give me do the translation of the 4 pages, yeah. And you guys have a constitution too, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you have to add that piece of the constitution as well. And yeah, I will have a look what I can find in terms. We can all have a look, and then you are in our chat, aren't you? The Divergent chat.
Sure.
I'm gonna start posting what I find there. Okay, then you see if it's any good. We can all do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, when the Moroccan embassy in Lisbon has a Gmail account, You don't think? I don't think they're really used to having like like in Portugal they have gov. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, because I
yeah,
couldn't find it. I was searching now and I couldn't find it anywhere.
yeah. I
Nothing.
just looked up the embassy in Lisbon, and they have a Gmail account.
Mm.
I think it was. I should have checked because the Australian embassy as well. They only have a Gmail account. Or the Moroccan embassy in Australia, I mean.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think they have. They probably have like the gov. They have. Maybe they don't have like an email system set up yet.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to go through their form, through their things like we did in Portugal, and see if they have any official emails. Like that list,
There was an email of
Florabella.
one of their paperwork from the court, and it's
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Can you do it the old-fashioned way?
Yeah.
Send a telegram. You can still send
Pigeon.
telegrams, can't you?
Send a pigeon. Attach the affidavit to the pigeon and send it. Or a fox. Send a fox. Yeah, but don't worry. We will have a look and see what we can find on our end.
Thank you.
In that list of assets, probably it's there. The email, Mia, isn't it? The asset list. It must be of the ambassador. I will have a look.
Oh, look at them. They only have the forms for you to submit your question.
Yep.
Yeah.
We can do what we were saying yesterday, Florabella. He doesn't fill anything on the text.
I don't think you can. Yeah, I don't think you can add files.
Attachment. Bloody
No.
hell.
Subject, request information, general, email, your full name and your comment, but that's it. No, you cannot add any any docs. But they have this in French, so they would accept it in French. I mean, we want to make it as comfortable as we can for them to read it. We really want them to understand how criminal they are.
Yeah, but you have an email for the judge, don't you?
No.
Oh, not that as well. Bloody
No.
hell.
Well, there is only a website, but you go there and there is nothing. You can submit all the informations, or you can look at the case number or something, but nothing more.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow. That is weird. Okay. Don't worry. We will look into it.
Yeah, on the asset list, you've got the Embassy of the Kingdom of Morocco, Grosvenor Gardens, and there's a website for the embassy, and there's an email address too.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, on the one that I've got, which is dated November 2022, so I can only assume and presume that that's the latest one. So yeah.
Okay, post it in the chat so Azul can have a look.
Thank you.
Okay, will do.
Brilliant. Okay, any more questions, everyone?
What's the name of the kingdom? I'm just trying to see if I see anything on DNB.
Morocco.
No.
Maroc.
It's called the Kingdom of something.
Kingdom of Morocco.
Is it Kingdom of Morocco?
Morocco, yes.
Of the Kingdom of Morocco. No.
Posted in the chat, did you say, Carla? Because I can't find us all there.
Yeah, the chat. Oh, he's
okay.
not there? He's
Well,
not there?
I tried to tag him, but he's not coming up.
So Azul, you are not in the chat of the channel, are you?
Yes, I am.
You
Well,
are?
why is it not coming up then when I try and tag him?
No, you are not. I'm speaking about the chat of this channel.
Oh,
I don't know.
No, you are not here. Let me add you. Where are you?
I'm going to have to change that.
Hang on a minute. I'm going to. How do I do this? No.
Shall I comment on the
No,
post?
okay. So if you go to the channel and you click on the top the name, there is a chat on your right. Click on that chat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
and then go inside of the chat.
Yes.
Oh yes, now you are here. Okay, so you have there the London diplomatic list. Yeah.
Yep. I see
Yeah.
it.
So everything that we find, we will put it here, okay, for you.
Thank
Then if
you.
you have any questions or anything, just write here, and all the admins are here as well, so they can help you with anything. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Let's see. Okay, so guys, are we good today? Is there any more questions? Anyone wants to speak anything about anything?
Can I just ask if I write a letter, say like I've got something with the Thames Water going on because the CEO has resigned and I've sent the affidavit for some reason. Can I write a letter and attach the Exhibit A?
No, you need to send the full affidavit.
Okay,
You can make reference. You can make reference in the letter.
Yeah.
Yeah. To please pay attention to Exhibit A .56, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
You have to send it as it is, because they need to rebut it. Every exhibit they need to rebut it point by point.
Oh, thank
okay.
you.
But you can make that reference. Go ahead, Mia.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realise I was unmuted. No, I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah, you send it, and then you give them 24 hours to rebut the affidavit, because the affidavit is your foundation to the facts. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Exhibit 8. Well, sense now, actually.
Mm. Yeah.
Do we just send the affidavit on its own, or do we have to put a cover letter or something?
Yeah, you need to send a cover letter. Yeah.
Okay.
We have them in the chat. If you go on files,
Mm-hmm.
or if you need it, you just pop in a message and we will post it again, repost it again. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, guys, that's it.